I always like to say I bring the party when I come to talk. Sometimes people ask me, so, what do you do for a living? And I say, I talk about sex slavery and sex abuse. What do you do? People ask me all the time, Jess, what is trafficking? Well, you've probably heard of the term sex trafficking because it's really popular in modern media, but actually labor trafficking accounts for the majority of trafficking as a whole. Well, what is that? Well, it could look like the people who grow our food or who make our clothes. It could even look like the people who sometimes serve us. We would just have no idea. Labor trafficking has been accounted for not just in non-industrialized countries like Bangladesh or Vietnam and Cambodia, but in every state of the United States of America. So it happens right here.
So we could say even though that the mob or the mafia, I mean, this is organized crime that's backing a lot of whatever the selling of sex may be, whether it's cam, whether it's trafficking, whether it's prostitution or brothel. But in terms of the U.S., I mean, these are girls who, say, are 12 years old, who do not have a father at home, have been told by a pimp that they're beautiful, and now they're selling themselves for this pimp. But if they try and leave, then it is just like they've been trafficked.
Could you also just kind of give us the landscape of what sexual abuse looks like here in the States, and particularly with regards to boys?
What we know from research is that the average age that a prostituted girl or boy will begin, girls would be between 12 and 14, boys are between 11 and 13.
And this idea of boys being prostituted, I myself, prior to getting into this arena, had not heard too much of boys being forced into sexual exploitation, but instead it is actually a huge reality. Can we take it back a little bit, and can you kind of explain what sex abuse is? What is the definition of sex abuse?
Well, sexual abuse would be whenever a child or adolescent is used for the sexual pleasure of a more powerful person.
So you're saying that it can be outside of just the physical realm, it can also exist in the psychological and mental realm that abuse can happen.
So what's the first thing that you tell a young person about rising up beyond the tragic circumstances and trying to get on with it? Coming from somebody like me, I would think that some people would almost find that insulting from me. But from you, who's lived a lot of that, the message must be received differently at times.
Yeah, I think for me, it's, and this comes from my personal journey of just starting to finally embrace my story and not be ashamed of it, and also to really commit to healing. And I say that to all of my audiences and anyone I speak to that shares their story with me. I always say, look, it's going to be hard, but you can be whole again. You're just going to have to really do the work and commit to yourself. And so that's sort of where the phrase, I'll go first, came from. I didn't know what was going on with me. I thought, I just can't adult anymore.
I can't adult anymore.
Something is wrong with me. And then I realized, I think I might have something wrong with my head. So finally, I found the right doctor team. And I think that's so important. You have to self-advocate for yourself. And the thing I tell myself always is, you have to go first in your own life. And you can be healed but not cured. You can thrive anyway.
The reality is, yes, the struggle is real. But so is redemption, so is hope, and so is healing. That day that I decided to go first was the day that changed the rest of my life, so I'm inviting you to do the same. Go first, accept your story, commit to the process of healing, embrace that it's a journey, and I promise you that one day you might be helping someone else live out their story as well.